Okay, internet peoples, this is Frank Kozik, also known as the guy that makes lots of junk for everybody in the world, and you're listening to Master of One Podcast.
Welcome to another episode of the Master of One Podcast, the podcast that gets weirder as you go, but strangely more familiar. Part 1 this week, we talk about E3, House of Cards, Gravity Falls, and Project Gorgon. I'm Andrew, your Master of Art and Design.
I'm Patrick, your Master of Television and Film.
And I'm Luke, your Master of Toys and Games.
So get your journals ready, because it's time to decipher another episode.
That sounds like work.
We like to kick every episode off by going around the table, which is where we talk about something new, fun, and noteworthy about our weeks. Patrick, what about time for your work having?
Are you purposely leaving that turtle in the frame? Just to
1,000%, yes.
Leave everyone
it's
on
actually
edge?
incredibly inconvenient for it to be here because I can't reach my keyboard. But I thought it's
But he
more
paid
important
so much
to,
for it, it has to be used as many times as possible.
I have to use it as much as possible. Yeah.
Well, it looks
Hideous
terrible.
is the word you're looking for.
If anybody's not sure what we're talking about, we talked about it for a solid 10 minutes in last Tuesday's episode. Oh, man. So a really cool thing happened this week, and this happened to all of us, but I'm going to go ahead and
That's called a conversation thread.
Yeah.
Continue.
Yeah, and I'm going to go and steal the thunder for it, though, and that's that the podcast has made an upgrade in a big way. So thanks to contributions of viewers and listeners like you and PBS, and then also our sponsors, we've been able to upgrade our audio equipment. Now, here's the fun part. You're not going to be able to tell till next week because I'm the only one using new equipment, and I don't know how to use it.
You might actually sound good now.
I should sound
That's
better.
True.
Minus the fact that
People
I have
might
a head
start
cold.
listening to you.
Yeah, possibly.
Now you can hear with rich clarity how all the phlegm and disgustingness that's in
It'll
Patrick's
actually sound
head
the
right
same
now.
because normally you sound nasally, and now you'll just sound nasally.
Yeah, it's so anyway. That it's just very exciting that for all the support that we've gotten, and it's allowed us to do this and continue to grow the quality. And then we have another really cool thing.
Let's just be honest. After we had Mark Bricky on last week, we decided we had to throw out all of our old equipment and start from scratch.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
Yeah.
That's what because his voice just sounds so good. So that's a really big thing. The last thing for my week, I was just looking at Vulfpeck's website. Vulfpeck is a band.
Yeah.
The name of the band is meant to sound like saying the word Wolfpack, but with
Vulfpeck.
like some type of like Swedish or something accent. So it comes out Vulfpeck. But it's this like 4-piece, and they do this like crazy cool like jazz and
Jazz metal.
have you listened to them at all?
Yeah.
Okay, it's like jam bandy, but like jazz and
It's like hard rock, though, too.
You said it's the Wonder Pets? Is that what you
No,
said it is?
Vulfpeck. But at times it can also have like a bit of like an 80s vibe to it, or I should say 70s vibe to it. Super groovy stuff. But anyway, I was going to say that their website, we talked about brutalism a little bit ago on the podcast. Their website is a really great example of brutalism done well. So I encourage you to check out Vulfpeck's website. Go listen to their music. There's a ton of awesome music. You can find concerts on YouTube or check them out on Spotify or whatever. But really been digging them lately. And their website is great. Luke,
Yes.
why don't you take over?
All right. Okay, so, man, listen. My oldest is 10, guys. That's crazy to me. He turned 10 today. And it's awesome. Like, he's an awesome kid, but it's strange having a kid that is a decade old now. Like, it's just a weird thing.
Is it weird because that means that you had him a decade ago?
Yes. Yeah, like
Okay,
it
but
doesn't
before-
feel like that long.
Before you move terribly further into it, you posted about it earlier today, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm pulling up your post
Yeah.
because I read it and laughed out loud because I read it and it says this kid today, he's 10, kind, smart, and brutally honest. Here's the 10 more, and then move out. That's funny.
Yeah.
So that's funny. But at first, I read it as he's kind of smart.
Now move out.
That's like a humble brag if I was going to say that. He is kind of smart. Like
He's kind of smart.
He's kind of smart. No, he's a smart kid for sure. And exactly what I said. He's kind and he's brutally honest. Like Rachel made brownies for him because he likes cake, but brownies are like his favorite dessert. And so we had brownies and she's like, Jones, you like them? He's like, yeah, they're okay. Like he will not mince words about things he likes or doesn't like. He's kind of like
I do the same thing, but people have like a word for that. For me, at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Family
friendly show. Let's not get into that. So that that was just me like feeling old. And then the other thing, this week I have been drinking the new drink of America. I don't know. I'm a little late to the game. It came out in April, but I have now found it, and it's Mountain Dew DEW.S.A. It's America. It just tastes like a Bomb Pop, like the Bomb Pop ice cream. It's Code Red, Whiteout, and Voltage all mixed together, and it's like their summer flavor. Guys, it is.
Do you ever just feel like America. A stereotype?
Yeah, I don't care. It's fine. It's so good.
I was talking about me, not you, but
yeah.
Yeah, that was just a hypothetical question into something Patrick's been thinking about.
Yeah, unrelated to you sitting in your basement playing Dungeons and Dragons and drinking Mountain Dew.
No, it's fine. It's come full circle. I am now. My mom just needs to move in. I think I'll be fine.
Yeah, you are officially 14. Like you and your son are only separated by just a couple of years.
It's just age. Yeah. Mentality is exactly the same.
Yeah. Patrick, he's kind of smart.
Wait a second.
Oh my gosh.
No, that's it. I've had a good week.
Okay.
Andrew,
all right.
Take it away.
Yeah, so my week has been highs and lows for sure. So been gearing up for a trip. I'm going out of town for 10 days. So on record day, I'll be leaving tomorrow. So on Wednesday, I'll be heading out. And that means at work, I've got to get a whole bunch of stuff done ahead of time so that no one needs me while I'm gone. So I've just been trying to kind of, front load all my work on that. But in the process of doing that, I'll tell you the lows and then I'll tell you the high. The lows, we had to, we were going to rent a car to drive on the trip and waited, like we looked and it was like, I want to say it was like $150 to rent a car, or like $170 or whatever. And then we looked like 2 days later and it was like $400 to rent the same car.
That's a lot more.
So we were like, well, can't rent a car now. So we had to go get our car, like just checked out, like make sure that, the oil's changed and everything. And it ended up costing us like $390
to change the oil.
To have the like there was like there's a sensor that was like broken or something. Ugh. So anyway, so that we ended up paying for a rental car, but I guess that's fine because our car's fixed now and we didn't pay for a rent, whatever. Like that's fine.
Right.
But then 2 days ago, we noticed these spots on the wall in our living room, and I'm like, what are these spots from? And we touched them and they were wet. So there was a leak in our wall. There was a pipe that had broken in our wall. And so there was a big spreading leak. And so someone came out today and with us getting ready to leave on the trip, like I was, nervous that they wouldn't be able to get it out in time or get it fixed in time. And then we would leave and it would be 10 days. And moisture in the walls for 10 days can do a heck of a lot of damage.
Sure, yeah.
So I was happy they came out today. So we have this massive hole in our ceiling now. And they're going to have to come back probably after our trip and do all the sheetrock and stuff. So
that's not something they can do while you're not there, or you just don't want them to do it when you're not there?
They can do it while we're not there, and I'm fine with them doing it while we're not there. But the property management said they wanted to make sure that there's no more leaks, and the only way to do that is to be actively using it. We'll see. We'll see.
Gotcha.
But anyway, It's just been a hassle. Yeah. Car and house has just been a hassle.
Adult stuff.
And I didn't say this a couple weeks ago, but about 3 weeks ago, I got a hairline fracture in my ankle. And so it's been like, just feels like one thing after another these past few weeks. But anyway, so there's all the downer stuff. Here's the positive thing. I beat Zelda yesterday, Breath of the Wild.
Oh, nice.
I beat it.
Mail me your Switch.
Yeah, so I've already sold my Switch on eBay for $16,000. It's pretty fantastic, yeah.
What are they selling for, though? Do we have any idea?
Retail price. I found there were 3 different stores today that had them in stock.
You know, Patrick has said if there is one, get it, and he will PayPal you the money.
Yeah, I literally if you'll just
Are
get it,
you
I'll come
seriously?
pick it up.
They don't have them down where you are?
No, they don't, and they're saying that they're not going
They
to
don't
get
have
them
them here
before end of the year.
Oh,
yeah, they don't have them
just
here
tell me
either.
what color you want, and I'll get it for you.
Well, he's gonna be there in like
Okay.
what, a couple days,
well, good
right?
luck.
Yeah,
When
but
you get
what
back.
if it's not? But what if it's not there?
Yeah.
I
Well-
like the dark ones.
Okay.
You guys should just the straight up black ones, like the black and gray.
Sure, sounds great.
So anyway, I beat Zelda. I was pretty stoked about that. That means now I'm probably only 25% of the way through the game. There's so many different things that you can do, and beating the game is really only one of those things.
I heard somebody did a speed run on it and beat it in like 3 hours or something.
Yeah, feasible. I don't know. That'd be pretty difficult.
It's not,
but
obviously they unlock everything, but yeah.
Sure.
I don't know.
Yeah, like feasibly, all you have to do is beat the 4 divine beasts and then go after him. You don't even have to have the Master Sword to get him. He's not terribly difficult if you know what you're doing. Like if you recognize that all he is just an amalgamation of the 4 divine beasts, then it's fine. It's relatively easy, actually, to beat him. But anyway, now I'm going back through and trying to get all of the fun stuff. There's like
39 minutes, 57 seconds is speed run right now.
That's crazy.
1 month
town.
ago.
That's crazy town. So anyway, that's my that's been my week. Hopefully, I'll be able to share some more stuff next week. I've been putting off a project that now that I'm going to be off for a few days, I'm hoping to get a lot of headway under and hopefully finish before I get back from vacation. But I'll talk more about that in the coming weeks. I think that's it for our On the Table. That means up next, time for the Master Categories. Every week we talk about the master categories, which are the categories we drew the week before randomly, and they give us the category, and then we choose our topics based on that category. Luke, why don't you kick us off, because you're the only one this week who has their category.
Okay. So what's going on right now for anybody interested in games at all is E3. Happens every year. All the big companies and console manufacturers and game designers come out with their kind of what is coming in the next year or so. And so far we've seen from Microsoft, Sony is tonight, Monday, and then I don't know when Nintendo is. We've seen some stuff from Nintendo in Ubisoft's, and then Bethesda and EA and a couple other people have announced some other things going on. So I just want to give some quick highlights of just the things that have been announced that I thought were awesome, and then some things that I'm a little confused about. So the first thing was from Microsoft's, it was Anthem, and that's kind of like it's like the newest massive like open world MMO kind of. It feels a lot like Destiny, where you play this character in an open world and then people can jump in game with you. The cool part is you have a mech suit, and you can fully customize it to different kinds of things and different weaponry and different styles, whether you want like something really fast or something that flies or something that's kind of more tanky. And the trailer for it and some gameplay stuff was revealed, and gosh, it looks amazing.
It does look really nice.
Anthem. There was stuff for Sea of Thieves, is a game that's kind of been talked about for a while. It looks pretty cool. There was
And is that different than Sea of Thieves?
Yeah, way different than Sea of Thieves. Yeah,
okay.
Sea of Thieves I think is an adult only game.
Okay.
This looks like it's T for teen. There is let's see. Forza Motorsport 7, they got a date on that, which looks, I mean, all the Forzas look good. I'm not
like
a really
better than real life.
Yeah, I'm not a driving sim kind of guy, but man, they always look incredible. Battlefront 2, more stuff on that came out. All like day one stuff and everything they come out with, they've said is going to be free. So that was like a big so you buy the game and then anything that comes out from then on is free to add on. And some of that, the gameplay footage from that looks really awesome. There was a trailer, then we see some Darth Maul, so that's cool. And then, I mean, there's so much. The Xbox, the Project Scorpio was revealed as the Xbox One X, which is 4K, has HD 4K Blu-ray capabilities. It's got 4 gigs more RAM than the PS4 Pro. It's got a faster processor. It looks pretty awesome. I don't know if it's still not really next gen to me, so I don't know how I feel about all of these like kind of in between consoles.
Have they said? So my understanding with both of them is that with both the I'm saying Sony and Microsoft, is that the idea is that the next console they release would kind of be their last, and then from that point on it would be I don't know
like
if
hardware upgrading.
Yeah, like I don't know if the idea is that you'd have modular components that you swap out, or the idea is that it's so far advanced that they feel like it would just last a decade, I've just heard talk that because we were for a while seeing like 2-year life cycles for consoles,
right?
And I was just again kind of getting the idea that they were going to move to a more modular system and that it was going to be like the last console you would buy. So I was curious. I was literally about to ask you if that's what this was going to be. But
no,
you don't
I don't think it
so.
is. No, and honestly, that was talk for a little bit, and I would be very surprised if we see that within 5 years, because I think they make so much money off of coming out with a new box every couple years that to come out with kind of the one box and then add like kind of upgrades and add-ons. There's a lot of people that are in the console world that if they go that route, then it's kind of just switch to PC because you're going to get more bang for your buck anyway.
Well, I was going to say, like, I do recognize that when we're talking about a modular box, we're describing the act of building and upgrading a PC.
Now, it'll be easier, supposedly. Like, the idea would be more of, not as much like...
I doubt that selling the console is as important. In fact, I thought for a while that there was talk that like with the 360, Microsoft lost a few bucks off every console. But the idea is that, you make your money off the accessories, you get them inside the environment, you sell the gold subscription. Like you're really making money off someone being in the ecosystem as opposed to owning the box itself.
Right. Yeah.
But whatever. What do I know?
Well, we'll see. I honestly don't see that happening for, like I said, for probably 5 years or so, maybe. Even then, might as well just get a PC if you're going to go that route. Other things that were announced, the one big one for me that I was super excited about was Beyond Good and Evil 2. So this was a game that came out on Xbox back in 2003, was Beyond Good and Evil, and you play this character Jade, and she's kind of exploring this world and fighting bad guys, and she takes like photos and stuff. It's a really fun, like, kind of platformer game, and they just released this new trailer, kind of the reveal trailer, and it's got a complete overhaul from 2003. It's like it has these next gen graphics. It's incredible, like voice acting. The whole world is very immersive. It's just we've come a long way from 2003. And but I love that kind of world that the original created, and so this is a prequel leading up to that game. So it'll be interesting to see how you do a prequel almost 15 years later to this world that was created back in 2003. So, but that looks awesome. And then there's like Assassin's Creed, the new Assassin's Creed, PlayerUnknown's Battleground. I don't know if you guys have heard of that. It's this game that's been on Steam where it's kind of a free-for-all. and there's the map kind of closes in on you, and eventually, last man standing wins. It's been really popular so far in the PC world, but that's coming to Xbox One. And then there's a whole bunch of stuff. I'm sure we'll hear a lot more from Sony after tonight. And then the one thing that Andrew mentioned before we got on, and the thing that I saw that I'm kind of confused about, is Ubisoft and Nintendo are joining forces for Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle. And this is like it looks like a shooter, but the trailer, it doesn't show any gameplay. It just shows kind of like maybe some level design, and it's just like cutscenes of the characters in those. I don't really understand how the Rabbids fit with Mario. Like, it feels like a very strange mashup, and the trailer, I don't know. It was all really confusing for me, but I will be the first to say that I've kind of like distanced myself from Nintendo as of the last couple years, so I kind of don't know what's going on. But it was a little weird, so I don't know if you know any more about it, Andrew, than I do. But
yeah, not much other than I don't know how the two worlds intersect. Rabbids obviously coming from the original game of Rayman, Rayman or whatever you want to call it, and then they spun off into their own thing, the Raving Rabbids or Raging Rabbids or whatever, and they've had several highly successful games as well as TV series on Netflix or Hulu or something.
Okay.
So I'm interested to see how the two worlds intersect. I'm excited to see that that Mario is stepping into the third person shooter realm a bit.
Yeah.
To me, I think it's going to be like Splatoon, where it's not really shooting. Like they're like, they have weapons, but their weapons they're not shooting bullets. They're not killing anybody.
It looks like from the trailer they have like Mega Man guns.
Yes.
Like it goes on
got
their
like
arms.
plasma. Yeah. And then the Rabbids characters dress up like the Mario characters.
Right, but then you also see Luigi and Yoshi and Peach. They're all part of the trailer too, like the actual characters, along with the Rabbids dressed up as them.
Right. So it's going to be an interesting mashup. I think it's it's not the first time, but I think it's one of the only times that Nintendo has done like a crossover game like that.
Sure.
And so I'm interested to see how it goes. It's coming out for the Switch.
Yeah.
I don't believe it's coming out for anything other than the Switch. I don't think it'll be out for the Wii U. So I'm always ready to see some, like with ARMS coming out next week or this week, later this week. Games that were designed specifically with the Switch in mind.
Sure.
So.
One more last thing, and then we'll move to somebody else. There is Ubisoft also announced this Transference. It's a new VR game with Elijah Wood. Looks super creepy and weird. And here's the thing. Like, I want to start playing VR stuff because it seems like it would be fun and it's like the new thing. But I don't like scary stuff and I don't like jump scares. And that feels like that's all those games are because it works. I mean, obviously it works so well with that mechanic. But, man, just somebody come out with like a fun VR game that's not a scary game. And just let me know, and I'm in. I'll just buy it instantly.
Yeah, or at least one that looks like it's fine, but then scare him afterwards, and then let it happen while we're watching. That's fine. That works too.
I'm gonna throw it to Patrick.
Only because you want to fight. So Luke knows what I'm about to talk about, and let's just say I don't think we see eye to eye on this. But I am talking about art and design, so I wanted to bring you something that frankly looks terrible. And talk about the merits of it, and that is Project Gorgon. Now, Project Gorgon is an MMORPG, which stands for Massively Multiplayer Online Role-Playing Game, and it's being developed by a very small team of people. I don't know the exact team makeup, like I was about to say what I think it is, but it'd probably be way wrong. But I think basically it's like
half of a person. 5
or 6 people are putting the game together. Now,
somebody on their lunch break.
Normally, when a game like this is produced, it is produced with several teams of whether it's developers, designers. I'm assuming people are storyboarding, and there are people that are responsible for story itself and like writing dialogue and doing all the audio. And I mean, I would imagine we're talking about again dozens and dozens and dozens of people involved.
Each one of those things you mentioned is probably a team of at least 6 people normally.
Yeah.
So
and it takes a long time to do. And it costs millions of dollars. That's the reality of developing one of these games. This isn't something, I mean, no offense, you could have a really good idea. You're probably not going to be able to execute it. Sorry. If you want to build one yourself, then just go get several $1 million and 100 people, and you can make it happen. But the guy that's building Project Gorgon is he has actually worked on some... he's worked on MMOs in the past. He's worked in several different roles, so he's seen all sides of the process.
Sure.
And he basically set out to build one nearly by himself. And that's what this is morphed into. So this has been going on now. He's been building this game for several years up to this point. It's still in the alpha stage, but because it isn't complete, it is free to play. And so you can check it out. The link is in the show notes. It's just projectgorgon.com, Gorgon. But the game, because there's so much intentionality being put into the story and being put into the mechanics and those type of things that are really very key, it is not a pretty game to look at. I mean, it's a bit jarring, especially when you're looking at all the games Luke just talked about that you're seeing at E3. And then when you look at this game, it's going to look like you just stepped back in time 10 years or 15 years, like pretty quickly. But that being said, I have had a chance to play the game. I've probably invested somewhere between 8 to 10 hours in the game this week.
That's that's a lot.
I am absolutely hooked. Like it is hitting me the same. So I played World of Warcraft since Vanilla being before there was any expansions like the original game. So I started playing in Vanilla. I think I made it up. I started playing pretty late. So I think I was at about level 53 or so when Burning Crusade came out. So I actually dinged 60 in the first zone of Burning Crusade. But that being said, Vanilla, that's 10 years old now?
Yeah.
And so I've seen the progression of Warcraft, and that's a game that honestly, I remember in the beginning it being something like you're completely lost in the game.
Yeah.
You want to explore everything because it's all new to you, and it's just like you and Thoughtbot and just faces the world.
Yeah.
And it's very exciting. And over time that kind of goes away, either because you have explored it all, or you could maybe argue that everything became so accessible, or the game really turned towards the casual player, that I've just finally fallen off. The funny thing is, I think I still pay for the game, and I haven't played the game in probably 6 months. But Project Gorgon very much kind of feels like jumping back into vanilla WoW again. It's confusing. I'm lost. It's all exciting because I don't know what stuff is. So I have that sense of exploration again of trying to figure it out. Yes, it is frustrating. I can't tell what level I am right now. I have no idea. But at the same time, I think it's that sense of exploration has got me totally hooked. And there's a lot of content. I'm very impressed with the breadth of content, dialogue, missions, the ways you can develop your character through I think there's 15 different skills you can learn and develop and all those type of things. And it's been super, super fun. So loving the game, but it's something you just need to forgive the look of it. So I'm definitely one of those people that, with anything, I think function trumps form a little bit, or at least form and function trump design a little bit.
Sure.
And I think in this case.
Yeah, I can appreciate that. So when you first told us about it a couple of weeks ago, I think, and so I was like, cool, I'll download it. So I downloaded it and tried it. And I think we podcasted, I played it. I think I texted you 20 minutes later and said, nope, I'm out. Now let me say this. I can't do that. I can't make a game. I am nowhere near the skill set it takes to do that. So I appreciate the work. I'm spoiled in that I've played a lot of really polished and finished games. And for me, it was really hard to go back to that. And the control scheme, unless there's a way to change it, and like I said, I only spent 20 minutes in the game. So there might be a way to change it, but the control scheme was different than any other kind of game I had played, and so it felt really counterintuitive to my natural want to control, and so that was a barrier for me. The graphics, I was fine with the graphics of how they are, but it was more the controls that was really just, I can't deal with this, and it felt very strange. So I might try it again because you love it so much, but at first I couldn't do it.
I'm absolutely hooked. I mean, I genuinely am. So the only thing that's annoying, I don't have my desk chair yet. It comes in this week. Everybody I'm sure knows by now I'm moving.
Yeah.
And so this drum throne just gets really old to sit on to play. So I have to stop after a bit because my back and butt just are through. But
Sure.
I'm excited to actually get my chair. And then Mackenzie
Did you say your
will just,
bacon butt?
Yeah, my bacon butt is through. And then Mackenzie will just never see me again because I'll be in here playing. Well, let me say this. One of the difficult things for me, there's two things that have been tough. One has been the way the camera works. In Warcraft, I got really used to just always having my camera locked down, I think with a right click or something.
Yeah.
And so I would move with, W.S.A, but I was always scanning, always moving my camera. My camera was always fluid when I would play.
Right.
And on this one, when I'm using W.A.S.D in the camera, something about how they play together, it's not the expected outcome. They don't... One of them affects the other in a weird way.
Sure.
And so it's gotten a little annoying for movement because I have to make myself either not rotate my character or just not keep the camera locked down.
Right.
So, and then the second thing is the interface, understanding what level am I? Where's my XP at? Where's my health at? That's been really tough to understand. That being said, they said they're doing a whole interface overhaul and it's supposed to come out at the end of this month.
Oh, cool.
So they are working on it. I read through all the developer. The primary developer has been great about community updates. So there's a blog post from last week, or maybe it's 2 weeks ago, where he's going through again what they're working on this month. And they're working on, apparently they have this new sky with it has to do with the light in the atmosphere and stuff like that. It's this new system they're using for the sky. Once it's not fully it's implemented in the zone of Serval, but it's not implemented everywhere. Once it's implemented everywhere, then they're going to roll out dynamic weather, which is going to be really cool. And then there's a new interface coming out, and so reading through this stuff that's coming down the pipe or whatever. Just amazing amount of development. And again, it is free. I mean, Warcraft was $15 a month, and I paid that for literally almost 10 years.
Yeah.
It's hard to think about right now. This is free right now, so jump on the bandwagon.
Sure.
But anyway, that's it for me. Andrew, you get to finish us up.
All right. Well, I have TV and film, and I'm going to talk about two quick things. So we talk about a lot of the whole premise of this show is that when we bring the master categories, we're bringing something new and noteworthy from our world, right?
Yeah.
So for the most part, it's stuff that's very new, very on trend or very relevant to everybody. The stuff that you guys talked about this episode falls into that category. One of my things is very much that. The other one is more of the idea of as it pertains to my world. So this is not new and noteworthy, but it is very new in my world and very noteworthy because I think it's amazing. So let me talk about the very new thing. The newest season of House of Cards came out last week. I'm 2 episodes away from finishing it. Do either one of you watch House of Cards still?
I have already finished it.
Okay, so you finished it. So don't say anything. I'm going to give it a quick...
I was going to say, I don't know how you were able to stop with only 2 episodes left.
Because I had to. We had to record, and we have a 7-year-old at home, and so it's just you have to watch it when you can. So anyway, this season has been a crazy roller coaster. It's been just twists and turns all over. I won't say anything. I'll give no spoilers because it's still very, very new. But I think it redeems itself in a lot of ways because last season felt a little bit slower. This season feels a lot more on track. There's 1 or 2 main focuses of this season, and everything kind of gravitates around those, as opposed to the past couple of seasons where it felt like there were like 7 or 8 different storylines. This really hones it in, and so it's cool. I think I'm excited to see how it ends. And then give a full thumbs up. But right now I'm at like a 3/4 thumbs up on this season. Hopefully they don't screw the pooch here at the end. And then here's the other thing, and that's on Netflix only. So House of Cards, if you don't have Netflix, you're missing out. Honestly, House of Cards is worth getting Netflix for a month and binge watching all. It's the 5th season or 4th season.
5th season.
5th season. Yeah, so it's worth it if you don't have Netflix. And then so here's the other thing, on Hulu. For a long time, you were not able to get this, but it came back. I don't know how long ago, but we stumbled across it last week, and I had never gotten an opportunity to watch Gravity Falls, and now. So I had heard good things about it. The style of it always looked appealing to me, but I couldn't get it because the show came out in 2009.
Yeah.
Right? 2009, and no, that's not right.
I want to think
That can't
maybe
be right.
2011.
2012. Sorry.
Yeah.
Show came out in 2012. It was on Disney XD. And at the time, we didn't have cable back in for a few years. We didn't have cable, and so I didn't get a chance to watch these when they were live. So Gravity Falls is an animated TV show on that was originally aired on Disney, and it takes place around Gravity Falls, Oregon, which is this mysterious little town tucked away in the woods where all this weird mystery stuff happens. And it's about the Pine family. So Dipper and Mabel Pine are brother and sister. They're twins, I believe, but they're brother and sister. And they go and they stay with their grunkle, which is their great uncle, Stan, for the summer. And it's a 2-season arc. And I say arc because it is one continuous story from episode 1 all the way through, and there's 40 episodes. And now for an animated TV show, that's huge.
That's a lot.
That was like,
Yep.
It's a lot. It's a lot of episodes, and it's a lot to carry on in one story. Most other animated shows don't do that. So it's an incredibly well done show. It's very funny. It's very creative. It's at times a little spooky.
Mm-hmm.
It's got some intrigue to it, and the cast alone shows you the kind of power they put behind this thing. So the cast is Jason Ritter is Dipper Pines, Alex Hirsch, who is the creator of the show, is Grunkle Stan, Kristen Shale is Mabel Pines. So you know her from all sorts of various things, but she's Mabel Pines. There is oh my gosh, I'm blanking right now. I'm just trying to scroll through here and find. TJ Miller is Robbie Valentino. He plays kind of like the punky, like the emo high school kid.
Yeah.
And then there's J.K. Simmons is in it. He's he comes towards I think he comes in at the end of season 1. There are so many voice actors that you've heard. You'll listen and be like, oh my gosh, is that so-and-so? It's crazy. So if you've not seen this show, if you are a fan, I know recently I've talked about Over the Garden Wall, and more recently I talked about Adventure Time. If you are fans of those kinds of genres, this show falls totally in line with that. It's a Disney show. It's highly produced, very, very good. And so after I've watched it, I just finished it today, actually. The season finale or the series finale, I went online and looked up, is there going to be a season 3? Because the show went from 2012 to 2016.
Yeah.
It's only 2 seasons, but the way they rolled out the episodes, they spanned it over 4 years almost. And there's been interviews with Alex Hirsch, who is the creator, that imply that maybe a season 3 could be in order, and that to revisit the characters, to revisit their world and the future. What happened beyond the series finale is not out of the realm of possibility. So it has a very, very large fan base. It is critically acclaimed. This thing has 2 primetime Emmys. This TV show has 2 primetime Emmys, as well as a whole bunch of other awards and things. So, man, I know I'm late to the game, but it's one of those situations where it's better late than never, and I am a
sure.
huge fan. I can't wait to draw the characters. I can't wait. I can't believe I haven't done it yet, but I've just been so busy. But while I'm on vacation, I plan on doing a little bit of drawing of the Pine family.
Yeah.
So
It's a super fun show. I like it a
it's
lot.
very, very fun. All right, so I think that's it for my master category, which I think is it for all the master categories, right?
Wow, we
That
did
is
it.
correct.
Well, then that's it for the episode. You can find us on mof1podcast.com, where you can find show notes and links to all the stuff we talked about in this. You can find us on iTunes and Stitcher, where you can subscribe, and when you do that, you can rate and review. When you do that, it helps us a ton. It doesn't take you very much time, but it is incredibly helpful to us. I believe it was last episode or the episode before where we read one of the reviews, and it was the first time we ever rendered Patrick completely speechless. So
I was hearing it in
we're
my
just going to
head,
play a new
but I
game
just
called Stump the Pat, and it'll be fantastic. Yeah.
couldn't translate what was in my head to my mouth.
And what other ways can you find us? Oh, you can find us on our Slack channel. Go to mof1podcast.com/Slack to join the conversation on there. It's a good time.
Can I say we have an update from that, by the way, from Mr. Gabe Barletta. The title has now been changed to I'm Dead. We have 5 stars, and it says, y'all are good sports. Thanks for making laugh so hard. He forgot word. Thanks for making laugh so hard that I've peed a bit and practically passed out. You guys made my week. Andrew, you did great. Luke, I enjoyed it thoroughly. Patrick, with all my love, Georgia Baby Letta.
Patrick.
Wow. Okay. So you too can join the party there. Gabe is actually a part of our Slack channel, so join the Slack channel in there. It's almost 200
And those
creatives.
turtle pins.
And those
God,
turtle
they're
pins.
good.
Oh my gosh, right? If you are a Ninja Turtle fan, stop what you're doing right now. Well, this is almost done, so maybe wait the extra 45
Get through
seconds.
this, yeah.
But then go to, I believe it's El Grey Ghost. I think that's what it's called, El Grey Ghost. Go to that website, and I could probably look it up if I just took.
We'll put it in the show notes. It'll be in the show notes.
Okay, it'll be in the show notes. Go to the show notes and look up the turtle pins. If you're a Ninja Turtle fan, go get these pins. Get the pin set, the Half Shell Hero pin set. Killed it. They are so good.
It's
so
lgrayghost.bigcartel.com. Gray,
That's it right there.
Grey.
There you go. You got it. And then what else can you do? Go to social media. We're there. M of One Podcast. Find us.
Yeah.
Talk to us. We want to be friends with you. And then while you do that, talk, and we'll have talk time. Where should I be saying now? Something
just
different.
Bye, probably.
Maybe,
We're gonna get out. We're gonna go now. We're gonna get out of this episode. I'm Andrew.
I'm Patrick.
I'm Luke.
Peace out.
I got a new microphone.
Hold on to those butts.
Part 1 this week, we talk about EG. Haha, nope.